In this video, we are going to run through how to log your workouts. So first of all, we'll navigate down to the workout icon, tap on there, and then you'll notice that brings us through to the program overview. Now listen, if you wanted to go through it and check out the program overview, notes, any of those essential details, you can have a quick run through that as well. However, if you're ready to get into the session, then first of all, you have to choose which of your sessions you're going to be doing today. Now, on the homepage, you'll often find that the next session is already laid out for you. You can tap on there, it will take you straight through to that session. However, sometimes you don't always perform the training sessions in the order provided by the app. Something might have happened. You may have to reschedule sessions or move things around. That's absolutely okay. So assuming that we are accessing it from the workout tab on the main dashboard, this will bring us to this view here. Now in this section, you'll notice this is just the overview, so you'll still be able to see the exercise demo video, the sets, reps, rest, tempo, and exercise notes. However, once we get into the workout log, you'll notice that we're able to now see where we can record our weights used and reps performed as well, along with ticking the set off to ensure it's done, and we'll get into the functionality of the log in a moment. Just to come back out for now though, and so just because I realize I skipped past it, you make sure that you choose which of the workouts you're going to be performing that day. So it runs across based on tabs at the top of the page. So simply, you just swipe along, you choose which workout it's going to be. Let's in our case choose workout B. And then you come down and press log this workout. That will bring you through to the workout log. Now, there's a couple of very important points to lay out with this, which we'll go through now. First things first, let's just take the incline barbell bench press as an example here. The demo video you can tap on, and that will open up the full visual demo now. From there, you'll also be able to flip the phone sideways, and that will allow you to view it in the landscape mode. For now, we're just going to keep it here. But as you can see, each exercise demo video plays the exercise from 3 different angles. So it should be very clear the basics around how you're going to execute that movement. However, and as always, if you're in doubt, this is where the form check videos really come into play. It's really important that you send 2 to 4 form checks a week to me so that I can do a proper exercise analysis, give you feedback on your setup, your execution. Maybe it might even be down to things like the control of the tempo or even the level of effort I'm expecting from the set. So do not sleep on submitting form check videos. It's a very important part of the coaching process. You'll then have your sets here, reps, tempo, rest, etc. Now, when it comes to the reps, what you'll notice is that if we've got different rep schemes for the different sets, that those reps will appear in the order of the set. So for example, this first number 6 to 8, that's the rep range for set 1. 8 to 10 is the number of reps for set 2, and 10 to 14 is the rep number or the rep range for set 3. Now, in terms of the resting, what you'll notice is that when we log in that first load of that first set, the timer for the rest period will start automatically. So I'm going to show you that now. So let's just say I log the same as last week. I'm just going to do 40 for 8 reps, and then I tap on complete. You'll notice that that countdown timer starts straight away. It's a very nice function of the app, and it keeps you very honest and standardized with your rest periods. I'm just going to exit that now. Then when it comes to the tempo, we're going to do a separate video running through this, but just in short, the first number is always going to be the eccentric part of the movement or the lengthening of the muscle. The second number is the end range, i.e. the lengthened position. The second number is going to be the end of that range, i.e. the end of the eccentric is always going to be the lengthened position. Then the third number is going to be the concentric, or in other words, moving from the lengthened range through to the shortened range. And then that fourth number is going to be the end of the concentric range, i.e. the shortened position. As I mentioned though, I will give some visual examples in a separate video. And then last but not least, we will have exercise notes. Now this is important. Just know though that this doesn't log for each individual session. These notes stay here as you go through your workouts over the weeks. So it's important that whichever week you are making notes for, and this client in this case has not done it, you should note down the date that you've made the note and what the note was. That way you can keep a chronological order of any notes that you've made and when those notes were made. That would be my biggest advice for you. So then moving on to the actual logging of the session, I'm going to just give you an example using the bench press here again. So I'm going to delete this for now and take the box away. So you'll notice that there is rep ranges. And one question that will often get asked is, how do we navigate those rep ranges? Well, we're setting up, in this case, if we've got rep ranges, with a double progression model, which means we're looking for you to try to reach failure somewhere between the bottom end of the rep range and the top end of the rep range. Now, let's just take an example that, let's just say we increase weight this week and we get to 45 kilos, but you only manage 6 reps. It means that the following week, you're not going to increase the weight on the first set. You're going to select 45 kilos for next week also, but the goal is going to be to try to get 7 or 8 reps. Once you can get to the top end of the rep range with that load, and of course, failing, but with good form, or going past the rep range, maybe you might even get 9 or 10, this is when you can increase the load. Now, I gave a bit of a big jump there from 40 to 45. That certainly isn't what you need to do. You can very much just increase by small amounts. So if your gym has fractional plates or 1.25s, you absolutely can increase by just a very small margin. In fact, I'd recommend that you do so that you really give yourself a long runway for progression. Now, let's just say, for example, we got to the top end of the rep range. Next week, we're going to maybe increase to 47. And maybe you hit 7, that's okay. You'll keep it at 47 for the next week, and then until you can hit 8 or beyond. Now, the next question I'll often get is, well, how do I go about logging the loads? And this is a place that can cause a bit of confusion for some people. So I'm going to go to that now with a single arm movement. So let's look at a couple of examples. If we've got a seated dumbbell lateral raise, in fact, if we just look at any exercise, the golden rule is going to be total weight and total reps. That is, if you stick to that rule of total weight and total reps recorded, you can never go wrong. However, I will explain what it means. So let's just say for the lateral raise in this instance that Amy has used 6 kilo dumbbells, but she's done 12 reps because she's doing both dumbbells at the same time. It means that she's done 12 total reps, but the total load that she's lifting is actually 12 because she's doing 6 and 6, so it's 12 total kilos. That is going to give her the accurate volume that we get by calculating load times the reps. Now, if we go to a different option, say for example where maybe we've got something like a standing single arm dumbbell hammer curl, in this instance, because there's only one dumbbell in play, we're only going to log the single dumbbell. So if she's using a 12 kilo dumbbell to lift, then ultimately all that means is that we're going to be using just purely 12 in the log. It then means that if she's doing 8 per side, she'll then log 16. So she can see she's logged this very well here. Ultimately, you just choose, the load is going to just be that single dumbbell. Why? Because if it's a single arm dumbbell curl, we're only going to be using that singular weight. So there's no need to multiply it by 2, which is a mistake sometimes people make. But however, we are doing the 12 kilo dumbbell on each arm, which means you have to take the total reps for the left side, total reps for the right side, and then add that on. Now, the last and final example, which I think is very useful to go through, would be, let's just say we're doing a dumbbell split squat and you're holding 2 10 kilo dumbbells. In that situation, I'll just log it here so you can see it visually. In that situation, let's just say we do 2 10 kilo dumbbells. It's a total of 20 kilos. But then you perform 10 reps on each leg. But that's a total, when you combine the 2 legs, of 20 reps. So this is an example where total weight, total reps holds true across all of these exercises. So as long as you stick with that rule, you really cannot go wrong. Now let's assume that you've logged all of your weights and all of your reps for the day, and we tick those all off just for example. You would then come down and you select complete workout. If you do not hit complete workout, it will not be submitted and it will not show up on your calendar. Now if you don't do complete workout and you just exit and then you come back in, let's just say you come out of this, what will end up happening is if I go through to complete workout, which I'm not going to do for now because I don't want it to log Amy's session, it will show you the amount of time you've been spending training. It might show like 4 hours, 5 hours, depending on when you're logging into the app from when you last looked at it. Well, you can actually go and adjust the time that you've been spending training. So do make sure you adjust that if you do forget to press complete workout. Other than that though, you can save a workout and come back to it later, or if you want to, for example, catch up with logging, you maybe logged halfway through the session, but then you want to finish the remainder of your logging. Once you finish, you simply click on the back arrow here, and again, you can either save, delete, or cancel. Now I'm going to delete in this instance because I don't want to save this as a workout for Amy, but you can very much save it and come back to it later, so there's no issues with doing that. You just have to remember, if you do save and come back, to actually come back and then press complete workout when you're done, and adjust the time that it took for you to finish the workout as well if it doesn't match how long it actually took. If you want to continue editing, you simply press cancel, but for now we are going to delete. Just as a final point, you may be an individual who travels a lot. It might be that you maybe are working between two different phases. Maybe you've just finished one training phase, moving into the other, and you still want access to some of your old weight log in order to be able to see what you did before. Now, you can simply do that via the historic log. However, some of my clients do prefer to be able to have access to their last training block as well. So let's just say you did want to toggle between programs. You can click on this toggle here and you can see that Amy has her phase 4 training. Now, this actually was her last phase. But then when we discussed her goals and her current constraints and where we're trying to go, she wanted to do a revised version of her phase 3. So we created a 3.2, which is actually her current phase. So it is important to make sure that if you've got multiple programs assigned to your account, that you choose the right one so that you can view and log that appropriately. That covers everything for now for how to log your training, your workouts. If you've got any questions, as always, please do just fire them over via WhatsApp.